You are here because you desire to be a better thinker and a better communicator. That's why you're here. And I'm so glad to welcome you to this session with Salome Olajidebwari, the Saint Educator. If you are here, if you're joining me for the first time, you're an important guest. Welcome. If you are rejoining me, it's our platform, right? So thank you for coming. I see you are here already. Wow. Welcome everyone. Say your name in the chat. Tell us where you're joining from. I'd love to connect better with you. Hi, Tife. Good morning. Yes, last week we had a very important conversation. Remember, we talked about introverts and how it is that being an introvert doesn't mean that you are shy. Being an introvert doesn't mean that you are antisocial. They're different things, right? So, yes, today we're looking at extroverts. All the energy. Yeah. So, extroverts, it is not automatic that you are a good communicator. It depends on you. You already have the flow, you already have the energy. Will you be a good communicator? It's all up to you. All up to you, yes. So, but if you really pay attention today, you are going to upgrade your communication skills. So, yes, if you're an extrovert, you derive energy from social interaction. You process externally. You are that type that even after a long week of activity, you are looking out for a social gathering, you want to party, you want to connect with people. And today, we want to see how we can help you harness that energy for your own good and for the good of those listening to you too. So it's not like you're ranting and ramping and and you're not passing out substance, transferring substance. If you're here, type yes in the chat and we'll be on to what we have today. It's a common belief that if you talk confidently, you're a good communicator. But have you not heard that some people, have you not heard some people talking with confidence and they're saying nonsense? I remember this video I watched by Cheesy, one of my previous students. And she was mimicking someone who was with confidence saying nonsense. Yes, that's it. That's why the Columbus, these are, and the people that were listening were nodding. And it was arrant nonsense. Like, exactly. Some people are like that, right? Elizabeth Oladipo, good morning. Welcome. Oh, thank you. Alleluia, Pentecost Flame Mission. Thank you. All right. So some people can talk with confidence and say arrant nonsense. And we don't want to be that kind of person, right? Communication is not about expression alone. Communication is not just about words. It's about structure. It's about how you put it together, right? It's about the meaning you transfer. It's also about the response. So don't just go talking. We want to see how to harness your energy. If you're an extrovert, please say hi in the chat. If you're an introvert, say ooh. Good morning, Adenike. Welcome. Yes, some people once you talk fast, you are loud. Does that automatically mean that you are a good communicator? If you are here right now, I see we have a number of people connected right now. Please share this link with your friends. Click the like button right now and click the share button. All right, let's spread this. Let's spread this so that others can come join us to learn. Yes, I'm Salome Olajidebwari, the Saint Educator, and I'm right here to help you upgrade your communication skills, and to help you in your personal development. Let's quickly look at common mistakes made by extroverts. You already have the energy, you already have the words, you have the ability to connect with people, but you keep making mistakes. First, you speak before thinking. Introverts think before they speak, but extroverts, they speak before they think. They want to think as they are speaking, right? So they don't give much thought to the words they want to say before they start. They already have the flow, so as soon as they start, the words start flowing. But it could be to your detriment, because you can just talk, and that in that process you say something that you're not supposed to say, you ought not to say. You don't take time to process, you process out loud. That's the way you're wired. So you have unclear ideas and you ramble a lot. 2, extroverts, you talk too much. That's one of the mistakes that you make. You talk too much. You want to feel, if there is silence, you don't like it. You want to feel the silence. You want to feel the void. Watch out for that mistake. 3, you love repeating ideas. You have already said something. Now you want to emphasize, and you're saying one thing again and again and again in different ways. Meanwhile, your listener has already understood from the very first time you said it. I understand how teachers would want to give illustrations, right? I do that. I give illustrations to explain something, but this is not the same thing I'm talking about with an extrovert. He has said one statement he has said something in one statement. Now he's giving another statement with that same thing, and then another one. Just because you have a river of words doesn't mean that you should keep flowing and flowing without even checking. Check for feedback. The person you're talking to, are they following? Are you carrying them along in the communication? Right? So you try to emphasize, you say something that you've already said, you're saying the same thing. In that process, you're weakening your message. 4, right? I said you speak before you think, you talk too much, you repeat ideas, and then 4, you interrupt others a lot. Why? Because you already have words flowing. So you're not even so bothered about the other person speaking and adding to yours. You have enough words for the two of you. So, hi, Lily's View, welcome. Yes, so you are eager to contribute, eager to talk. So you interrupt people even while they're speaking. It shows poor listening skill. It's not good, kodarara, right? It's not good. You need to show good listening skill so that you don't break the communication flow. Are we good? Are you with me so far? Type yes in the chats if you're with me. Number 5, you lack structure. Hi, Mercy Fadikbe, welcome. You lack structure in your communication. Why? It's obvious. You have abundant ideas. So your ideas are not organized. It's okay. We can help you with that this morning. Yes, true. Communication is not just about having ideas. It's about presenting them in a good way, in an enticing way, in a memorable and remarkable way, so that your audience is connected. The best communicators are not the longest talkers. The best communicators are not the best talkers. They are the best listeners. So if you're a good communicator without training your listening skill, no, I can't even call you a good communicator. If you're a good talker without developing your thinking, your listening skill, then you are not a good communicator, because listening is the best skill in communication. So how come you talk a lot and you don't listen and you think you're a good communicator? You need to sit up on that. If you're an extrovert, you need to pay more attention to that fact, knowing that you are already flowing with words, and you need to really check to make sure that you are listening. Okay? You want to listen, don't you? Please type listen in the chat. I want to see that you're going with me. Type listen, not listening, right? Listen. The T is silent, right? We good? Are we good? Are we good? Yes, thank you, Lily's View. Listen. Great. We're still going on. Remember, share this video with others. Tap the like button right now and say hello with your link on your status. Say, come on, join me in this class. Let's learn more about communication. Gabriel Zion, I see you. Yes, I see you. Hello, unmutable Mikey. Welcome. Good. Now, we want to move on to the crux of this session. We want to talk about practical strategies that can help extroverts become good communicators. Because I'm not here to lash at extroverts. No, I'm not. That's not my intention this morning. I love you, extroverts. I love your energy. I love I love the life you bring to the room. Without you, everything's just going to be boring. So we love you, extroverts, but you need to put your thoughts together so that you can always make sense. So when you're carrying people along, you know that they are listening to you, not because they have to, but because they want to, right? So let's talk about Yes, Amina, listen, let's talk about practical strategies for extroverts to become good communicators. I'd like to entertain questions. If you have a question about introversion or extroversion, please type it in the chats, all right? If you have any question at all right now, type it in the chats and I can take it. I know someone sent me a message in response to my previous video, my last week's session. He asked, can I be in the middle? Yes, you can be both an introvert and an extrovert. That's what we call ambiverts. So you can be an ambivert, you can be an introvert, you can be an extrovert. Remember we made it clear last week that the word introvert does not mean that you hate people. No, it's not. That's not the meaning. There's a difference between antisocial and asocial. Okay, I have a question. What do I do if I feel like talking, but I hold back because I don't feel among the people I want to talk to? Sorry. What do I do if I feel like talking, but I hold back because I don't feel among the people I want to talk to? Do you mean you don't feel like you belong, right? Among the people you're talking with, you don't feel like you belong. You don't have to force yourself to belong. One thing, yes, thank you, belong, yes. You don't have to force yourself to speak, right? It is obvious that when there is something to say and you're not saying it, then it's a problem. But not that everybody is talking and then you just want to talk, so it doesn't look like you didn't talk at all. There's a difference, okay? Have you ever been in a room where people are talking and there's one person that has not said anything so much and you are looking forward to hearing that person talk? That's the kind of aura you want to command. You are not the person that has been talking and everybody is saying, can this person just shut up? Yeah, but there's someone else that doesn't talk too much. And when that person opens their mouth to talk, just few words, but they come weighty. They come with so much wisdom, so much precision. That's the kind of communicator you should be. So you don't gain that by talking, right? You gain that by being precise. And we're going to talk about structure, how to structure your communication so that you can have that effect, you can have that aura. So General for Christ, I hope I've answered your question. Respond if you have the answer to your question already. Do we have any other question, everyone? Any other question? Sometimes, okay, I also want to add to that question. Sometimes you might not feel among. You might be among some people and you don't feel among. Okay, I think it also depends on the topic, depends on what they're talking about. So if I don't know something about a particular topic, or I'm not interested in that topic, I don't have to speak. I don't have to speak. I don't have to force myself to know everything or to sound like I know everything. No, I don't know everything. Even as your lecturer right now, I don't know everything, right? So it's not everything I force myself to give my opinions to. And that's one thing that makes me who I am, right? I contribute to conversations that I have experience in, and that's why I'm here as a SENT educator. I have interest and I have a great knowledge and experience in personal development, how to move you from who you are right now to the better version, the best version of yourself. I have experience and skill in moving you from not being able to communicate well to being a good and a better communicator and a good thinker. That's why I use brain-friendly learning techniques to teach, because I'm trying to achieve that goal of you becoming a better thinker for yourself. And when you have such conversations, or you have a conversation around God, around faith, that's one of my strong points too. You can hear my opinions, right? I can contribute to such conversations because I have something to say in that, right? So let's talk more about bro is boarding. I don't get that. What's that? All right, let's go on now to practical strategies for extroverts and anyone actually to speak better, to be a good communicator. Strategy 1, train yourself to pause before speaking. Did you hear that? Don't just go wrapping your mouth, running, right? Train yourself to say, I find it difficult to speak even though I have a lot to say in my mind, but I struggle to put the words together and express myself sometimes. I get that. And that's why you need to follow the structure I'll be suggesting. I'm going to suggest a structure. I think I have 2 different structures to suggest in getting your communication to a good point, right? So it will help you with this. How about when you are an introvert and you don't talk too much, but when you get to speak shortly and you realize you have shared more than you should, to the point of the listeners using your ideas? That happens. That happens. Because as an introvert, you don't like speaking. You don't like speaking too much. But now remember, I caught the balance last week. I said as an introvert, you can be a very good communicator. The difference is not expending energy, right? You love solitude. You love the energy you get from solitude, but you cannot say you are shy, you cannot say you are reserved and chase people out of your life. You need people. You need to communicate. You need to connect. So you find ways to do that without losing energy. You find ways to avoid being in a mammoth crowd when you don't have to. But when you have to, as an introvert and as a good communicator that you are, you need to find a way around it, okay? In a crowd, you don't have to go talking to everybody. You're going to lose your energy. What do? Get some people, isolate some people. You're better with one-on-one conversations as an introvert. So look out for some people and then have conversations with them one-on-one. With that, you're preserving your energy from talking to almost everybody at the same time, right? And then you can actually have meaningful conversations in that regard, right? Have I answered your question, Unmutable DJ? Yes, you said you have a lot of ideas, and when you talk, people use your ideas. Such is life. Such is life. That does not necessarily connect with you, whether you are an introvert or an extrovert. It's just life that you say some things, you speak, it means that you have a lot of good ideas. So as soon as you open your mouth, some people are even waiting for you to speak. And once you speak, they are running with what you have said without even saying thank you, right? So such is life. Thank you. Train yourself to pause before speaking. That is one strategy. Just a 3 seconds pause will do a lot for you. as an introvert. Don't just rush into talking, okay? So just, yes, preserve your energy. Good. Pause. Just 3 seconds or 2 seconds to pause. Process what has been said. Process what you want to respond to so that you can improve your clarity and your control of the situation and the conversation. Right? Step 2, use a simple structure. Use a simple structure. Last week, I gave you a particular structure, and that's the structure I'm bringing now. Yes, thank you, Michael. You're welcome. The point, the explanation, and an example. Give your point, give the explanation of the point, and then give an example to back it up. There's something I taught my son some time back because he's on the energy side, right? He has a lot of words flowing. Yes. So I was trying to help him to harness his extroversion to help his communication. I gave him a structure of what, so what, now what. What, so what, now what. I already know that he is on the high side of talking, of energy. So that simple structure is already helping him. Even yesterday, he was talking. I said, what? He said it. And I said, so what? He said, so what? And then I said, now what? So your so what? Your what is your point. What do you want to talk about? Okay, this is what I want to say. So what about that? Talk about what you want to say about that. And then now what? How does that connect to you? How does that connect with the people you are talking to? Right? That's the what, so what, now what structure I gave to him. The structure I'm giving to you is to give your point, to give your explanation, and then give an example to back up your point. Strategy 3, say less, mean more. If you can say one thing in one sentence, go ahead and use that one sentence instead of using 5 sentences. When we talked about euphemism, when we talked about figures of speech, we talked about saying less and meaning more. If you can say one thing, I think you should practice it consciously. Okay? Practice it, knowing that you already talk a lot, especially when you can actually, I do that when I'm writing. It's easier to do it when I'm writing. I write, I look at it and I say, okay, what do I want to remove from this line? If I've already said something in one line, there's no need bringing it. That's how you edit to reduce your work. You are writing, you have written 2 pages and you say, oh no, I need to reduce this. That's the skill of summary. Summary is a skill and it affects you when you speak as well. So as you're working on your writing, you're working on your speaking, because those are the different arms of communication, right? So as an extrovert, you want to say less and mean more. Ask yourself how you can explain that thing clearly in fewer words. Are we good? Yes, thank you, Michael. Say less, mean more. Give your points, explain it, and give an example. Yes, that's the previous one. Then step 4. Step 4. Stop repeating yourself. I think it's also connected to say less, mean more, right? Stop repeating yourself. Summarize your points and start practicing it now, because as an extrovert, you are needed in different rooms. Remember that some very good leaders are introverts and they need people like you to help them in their organization, to help them lead. So if you're coming with energy, you're going to come with refined energy that is going to help the members of that organization to focus, right? Not to scatter things. Are we good? Number 5, ask more questions. When you ask questions, you get feedback, right? Move from talking, running your mouth with words, move from that to engaging. The power is in questions, and it's in the type of questions you ask. Asking good and wise questions will be another topic, because that's an entire session, right? We're not treating that right now. Ask more questions. Shift from talking to just hearing yourself talk to engaging. Connect with the people. Have eye contact. Look at them, look them in the eye, and connect with them, and then ask questions. Ask questions about what you're saying, so that you are sure they really understand, that they are not just flowing and trying to tolerate your conversation. That's not good, right? They are just talking and somebody's just tolerating you, like, let her just finish so I can do something else. That's not a good one, right? That's not a good one. I'm making a change now. Awesome, Lilies. Great, great. Ask more questions. When you ask more questions, you're watching your listener. Are they following you? Are they engaged? Are they confused? When someone is confused talking to you, you would see that they cannot keep your eyes, right? Or they are just darting their eyeballs left and right. They're not focusing on you because they really don't get your point, and they don't want you to know that they don't understand. So that's one thing you can take home. Right. If you have more questions, please ask. You have any other question? Hello, Abba Blessing. Good to have you with us. Now, one very important note from me. If you missed last week's session, please watch it. If you missed the sessions before last week's session, please watch these sessions, because later on, you're going to see how you have been building. I'm looking at 1 year from now, 5 years from now, and seeing the transformation that would have happened in you as a result of consistently following this channel. I'm doing this for you. I'm coming live every Friday morning. It's not easy to talk to you, to help you grow. If I had someone doing this for me when I was younger, wow, I'm sure that I would know the graph that would have happened in my life, right? But I'm happy that I have this opportunity to do this with you. So please take advantage of this. Okay? Take advantage of this opportunity. Show up as I also show up. Share it. Be an ambassador of the Scent Educators channel. Send this link to others. Let them know that they can gain value from it. Imagine later in life, when you are shining and doing well in your field and your friends are not, it's not going to be okay. It's not going to be okay. So please, please make sure you share this and connect with others as well. All right, so I would be wrapping up now by asking you specific questions. When you speak, do people always understand you? You're welcome, General for Christ. Do people always understand you clearly? Do people ask you to explain yourself again? Tell me. I really want to know. You're welcome, Gabriel. Yes, yes, Michael. Yes. Do people always tell you, what did you say? Can you say it again? I had this person in Canada calling me to ask for elocution classes. He said anytime he speaks, he migrated there, and he said anytime he speaks, they're always telling him, please, can you take that again? What did you say? Can you repeat yourself? And he was feeling really embarrassed. He had to call for help. An adult, a grown person, had to call for help on his communication skill. It was not just pronunciation. Yes, I know I do pronunciation panacea. It's not just pronunciation. It was his whole communication that needed adjustments, right? So I've experienced it before. Yes, yes. Okay. Another question I need to ask you. Do people always interrupt you when you speak? Or do you interrupt people? Because it can be the other way around, right? You can be the one interrupting people, and people could be interrupting you. So let me know let me know your answers to these questions, and tell me what you would like us to look at in other sessions. I'd really like to know what area of communication you're struggling with. Always look out for our polls, because through our polls, we get ideas to help you grow. Introverts often need to speak more. If you're an introvert, learn to speak more and learn to speak in a structured way. If you're an extrovert, you need to refine how you speak. Pause and use all the strategies that we've talked about to help your communication skill. Remember that powerful communication is not about personality. It's about skill. Can you type skill in the chats? Say skill, and I'll see you again next week. Skill. It's about skill.